ocean space is a key source of food, mineral resources, energy, transport, and jobs for thousands of people in Ghana.
Now, when you're talking about the blue economy, it's a fairly new area where we have not taken all the opportunities that exist within the sector. We have not been able to prepare ourselves adequately in order to benefit from the full potentials of the blue economy. There is also the challenge of maritime security.
We have seen an emerging phenomenon. That is that the pirates do no more hijack vessels. They only go on board and they take crew for ransom. These threats definitely are affecting Ghana's economy, as 90% of the goods that we receive in Ghana from abroad come by sea. National Integrated Maritime Strategy is a welcome one. It is homegrown, and then I am sure with its smooth implementation, we should be able to get over most of these challenges that we are experiencing now.
The NIMS itself sets the policy framework and the language, the aspirations, and the strategic objectives that are needed to achieve a good and sound maritime environment.
We at the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, the Global Maritime Crime Program, did support the development of Ghana's National Integrated Maritime Strategy. It has 6 major strategic objectives that ranges from development of a thriving blue economy through the establishment of a strengthened maritime governance, maritime safety and security in the maritime domain of Ghana, capacity building, information sharing, research, as well as protecting the coastal and then the marine environment of Ghana's maritime domain. Last but not least, is also to make sure that the cooperation within agencies in the country, the cooperation within the region, and then even international cooperation are strengthened to a very large extent.
For Ghana in particular, there's an increasing need for the NIMS, because even though we have a maritime security strategy, we don't have an integrated one. The integrated one is something that looks to blue economy, looks to regulation, looks to international cooperation, and so on and so forth. And if you look at the problems that we are faced with on land, we should not wait until we begin to face copious problems at sea before we attend to it.
Ultimately, the name has to be endorsed. It has to be endorsed at the highest level of government. When that is done, first of all, it gives legality to the document, that this is a policy document that Ghana is committed to working. It shows an important political will and commitment to that process. It then serves as a document that can be implemented. Additionally, it serves as a framework from which you can then allocate budget to support the process. And finally, for partners and the international community, it shows, first of all, a commitment on the part of Ghana, but it also shows a document that Ghana is asking for partnerships, that here we are, we want to achieve this, and you can come on board for us to work and achieve this collectively.
Again, this document makes all the fights that we are confronted with, or the challenges we are confronted with, a national issue. So now we're going to tackle them as a nation instead of individual agencies tackling them. So yes, the coming into being of the NIMS is going to be a game changer as far as I'm concerned.
The National Integrated Maritime Strategy, NIMS, and its implementation plan must not only guide us to address threats, but also the opportunities inherent in being a coastal state. I wish to assure you all that the commitment of government is still very high.